From the 1011 Now Alert Center, this is Morning Pulse.
Good morning. This is Craig Allison with your Morning Pulse live for Tuesday, January 6th. Before we get into our local stories this morning, question of the day was, we may consider this piece of furniture old-fashioned, but it's making a comeback in homes. What is it? Answer this morning was grandfather clock. If you didn't get that, be sure to tune into 1011 this morning, where we read off viewer guesses that are posted to our 1011 Facebook page, as well as read off the answer live on air before our show wraps up. Now, that being said, we're going to kick things off into our local headlines this morning. Our first story from overnight. Emergency crews responding to a fire near downtown Lincoln to an apartment building overnight. LFR was sent to the building at 14th and H just after 1 a.m. this morning. Now, not much is known, and we're still working on gathering details, but our reporter on scene said the building was being evacuated and that a resident was woken up to the smell of smoke. Several windows to a basement unit of the building were also being broken in by emergency responders working that scene. So, again, we'll keep you updated as we work to learn more details on this developing story from overnight. And push out, be sure to stick to our 1011 Now News app with the latest, as well as Roku. Over to your second story. Changes to the CDC vaccination guidance announced yesterday have left many Nebraska parents wondering if they should continue getting all recommended vaccines for their children. The Department of Health and Human Services' upcoming guidance is expected to keep many recommendations, including for diseases like measles, polio, chickenpox, and HPV, but it's cutting recommendations for RSV, meningitis, and hepatitis. For those confused parents, one doctor at Nebraska Medicine says the answer is clear: yes, continue to get all vaccines.
Well, I think we've taken a step backward, and there just really isn't a good reason right now why we would scale back in this way. These are all diseases that have a large impact on the United States. We need to continue to keep our guard up to try to protect our population.
Dr. Rupp says the research behind vaccines is very reliable, and for parents seeking guidance outside the CDC, he recommends the American Academy of Pediatrics or the American College of Physicians. Now over to our crime tracker this morning. Lincoln police have arrested an alleged drug dealer after finding nearly 2.5 pounds of meth in his car. According to court records, authorities were following a vehicle on I-80 going towards Lincoln as part of an ongoing drug investigation. Records show investigators knew 53-year-old Pedro Serpa drove the vehicle and was involved in selling meth. They followed it back to his North Lincoln home, where they confronted him. During a search, they then found a bag of around 2.5 pounds of suspected meth and over $2,000 in cash. Serpa allegedly admitted to owning it, according to the affidavit, and selling it to around 10 people over the past year. His bond is set at $75,000, and he's due back in court on February 4th. Now, in case you missed it, a contentious few months for the University of Nebraska system, ending in the resignation of UNL Chancellor Rodney Bennett. Bennett, who became chancellor in July of 2023, will step down January 12th, just a few months before his contract was set to expire. His $720,000 per year contract would have ended June 30th of this year. It requires Bennett to give 60 days notice of his intent to resign, something that can be waived if agreed to between Bennett and UN President Dr. Jeffrey Gold. We spoke to Dr. Gold yesterday, who said he has nothing but respect, admiration, and gratitude for Bennett's work, and that he doesn't view the resignation as a celebratory moment, as many UNL faculty and staff do. Now for a sports roundup here, Nebraska basketball continues to put the country on notice. Last Friday's win over 9th-ranked Michigan State bumped the Big Red to number 10 in the AP poll, marking the first time since 1966 that Nebraska has reached the top 10. Congratulations to that. Their 19 consecutive wins dating back to last year, still the longest active streak in college basketball. And after a win on the road against Ohio State last night, Nebraska stays perfect, improving to 15-0 on this season. Up next, a trip to Indiana on Saturday. And switching things over to football, not so great news. Sticking with Husker sports, Kenny McChinney may not be coming to Nebraska after all. Just one day after committing to the Huskers, the Notre Dame transfer quarterback appears to be changing his mind. Minchie is now expected to enroll at Kentucky. Former four-star QB is believed to be the Huskers' top target at the position. Minchie appeared in 6 games this season with 196 passing yards. And wrapping things up with your final story this morning, for the first time in 30 years, local gas station chain Super C is nearing completion on a new location, a combination kitchen, barbecue pit room, and convenience store. Sitting at South 10th and High Streets, the new store will sell Ty's Barbecue and Smashies, which are smash burgers, burritos, and other barbecue foods formerly sold at Norm's on 48th. Norm's rebranded earlier in the year after being bought by Super C, with Norm's grandson Tyler taking on the legacy and supplying the gas station chain with barbecue items.
It's going to help a ton because we've been working in a trailer for almost 5 years now. I got 4 staff now. We're ready to get out of that trailer and start working in the actual kitchen, so we're excited.
Well, the store was originally expected to open in December, but officials say they're now hoping for the end of January. Once complete, the old convenience store will be torn down for more parking space. Well, that's going to be your morning pulse for this Tuesday morning, and we'll wrap things up with a look at your 7-day before throwing things over to Brandon Rector with more on the weather.
Good Tuesday morning. Meteorologist Brandon Rector with you in the 1011 Severe Weather Center. It is going to be mostly sunny to sunny for today, with winds out of the west-northwest at around 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight looks to be mostly clear. Temperatures at noon in the mid-40s to mid-50s. At 4, it is mild for January once again, with temperatures in the upper 40s to upper 50s, maybe even a few spots at 60. So we're talking about some near-record temperatures possible for a portion of the area. By 8 this evening, we're cooling back into the mid-30s to mid-40s. In Lincoln for today, we warm up to 58 this afternoon. That is over 20 degrees above average for today's date and only a couple of degrees shy of the record high for January 6th, which is 60 in 1933.
From the 1011 Now Alert Center, this is Morning Pulse.